Okay, I got a thing here I want to go over because I'm getting very I feel like I'm going crazy with how much nobody mentions it, but like is it just normal to recommend like say $50 for this, which is a piece of garbage, or $100 for this, which is actually okay. It's the only good Nintendo Switch controller bought, even including all the licensed ones that cost as much as an Xbox 360 controller, which was a good controller I used for the PC a lot because I wasn't big on doing a bunch of keyboard and mouse games. But you know, that's just me and the whole PC master race, Xbox for 360 versus whatever. I don't really care about that. Like I played games, and I feel like people who recommend some of these controllers have never bought a budget controller as a kid, and they're just recommending $100 to $300 for a controller like it's just normal. Like minimum wage has been the same since the GameCube, but like horrid controllers have skyrocketed. I am getting super. I feel like I'm going crazy with how much nobody mentions that. Reviewers and influencers and they just recommend these horrible controllers like this thing. Nintendo license. I got it because it was Nintendo license Power Ray, and I'm considering another controller for the GameCube style. This thing sucked. The analogs just didn't work right out of the bat. It was breaking immediately. I forget even what it was. I used this thing years ago at that point. It was garbage. It's light, which I guess is nice, but it also is cheap as all heck. Like it, this is a bad controller. And okay, there is this thing here. This is a horrible piece of junk contrast, and that's really bad. Unless you can fix that. Like this controller here, this is one that was also Nintendo licensed, the GameCube variant, so I don't have to like relearn muscle memory trying to figure out what like A is attack, B jump, and like all that stuff. But apparently I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time doing that on Nintendo's crappy net Nintendo's crappy net play that I have already spent like $1,000 in their system at this rate, well over, and it their net play just sucks for that, so that's great. It's just as good back when I played Brawl and on my wireless antenna, which was garbage internet, but it's just as good as it was then, except I'm paying way more. Anyways, this thing is so clunky and heavy. It is so big. I keep pushing these buttons. So I ideally want to hold like this, but then my thumbs up here, all the weight is going forward. So that doesn't work. So I have to hold it up here, I accidentally keep hitting these things. The analog directionals suck so bad. This thing would actually pop off before. I think this is a variant. I actually pretty sure I super glued this on because this kept popping off because you could remove this and this or whatever. But this thing sucks so bad. There's no inputs to work on top of the net play, which is just sluggish crap. So if I want to actually get good at the game, for one, I just don't use this. It's what's this now? I don't remember what the frick this is. PDP or some crap. Like it's bad. It's not good. It's heavy. It's clunky. It's a horrible like this was a controller I bought that was probably like half the price of that. It's probably like 15 bucks maybe. This is a GameCube controller that's alright to fire. It's better. I should just get an adapter, use this, not whatever people are recommending, because holy crap, I feel like nobody has ever bought a budget controller from like a dollar store when they were a kid on the GameCube and I actually realized, wow, these controllers back then were just way better than the garbage we have today. Like this thing here, $50, Microsoft Xbox branded. People are telling me how great this is. Does that sound good to you guys? I don't know. I don't know if you can hear that. This was like, this D-pad was like Lego. Like Legos on my thumbs trying to use. Like this analog stick was just as bad as the one on the other controller. It might be great for playing Call of Duty. I don't play Call of Duty. I play Dead Cells and Hollow Knight indie games, side scrollers. This is so, like, the analog stick is just so worn out from the very little use I've done with it over the years. Like, I got it because my Xbox 360 controllers were failing. They were good controllers. Good analog that wasn't this hard, nubby piece of garbage that just flicks everywhere. This is so worn out now from the very little use I put into it. This was breaking by the time I finally started using it because you're not supposed to use this. This is just a horrible piece of crap down here. Like I was playing Hollow Knight with this, it constantly do the same thing. It would flick back around. You can't get any precise movements. It was so bad. I don't know how people thought this was a good controller. Did nobody play PC games with a controller before Xbox One? Is that how out of touch everyone is? Like, this is garbage. This is just, these buttons are just so soft. I'm like, oh, just get the $50 version now or get the $100 version now. No. French you. I'm so mad. Like, I feel like I'm going crazy with how much people rave about this controller that is so bad. It is so bad. I probably got like one of the first variants, maybe that's why. But at that point, they need to stop making so many. Like, we already had an Xbox One, and then there was the Xbox 360. Now we have the Xbox One again. We have the Xbox One S. There are like so many Xbox Ones now. I have no idea which Xbox you're talking about. Like, this is the first controller ever, I guess. Maybe that's my problem. Like, this is actually a good controller. It's like $100, but it's actually a good controller. I have to I have to say that. Yeah, $100. Just spend $100 on a controller. You could do it for 30 before, but now I have to do 100. Like, I should just get an adapter to hook. Like, this is the best controller I've used in a long time for PC gaming. The all-arounder. This is the best controller. It's a Logitech. It's like 30, I can forget, it's like a $15, $30 F310 here. I don't know if you can see that. Like, this is going to be the best controller you're going to get if you're not playing first-person shooters. I don't. So, if you're doing, like, Hollow Knight indie games, like, yeah, get this controller instead. I cannot recommend this controller. I am more likely to recommend this $15 controller that works with Android games more. Why? For one, the D-pad is better. It's a little spongy now. I've beaten this up quite a bit now. I would recommend this controller. The buttons aren't super great. It works better for games like Bloodstained Ritual Night, especially for backdashing when you're doing this kind of stuff. This thing just will not do diagonals anymore after doing a little bit of that. Like, I first started doing it like that. Yeah, it's done. Yeah, this thing, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, like, and I use it for Resident Evil too. When you walk upstairs, you can just mash that right there. And then we have SNES controllers like this one. This is the best SNES controller I've been able to find reliably. I've gone through so many. People recommend the Hyperkin, like in the 8-bit. Oh my god, the 8-bit Doe. Hold up. I don't know what I do with the 8-bit Doe controllers, but like if you want to play like Super Metroid, do some techniques like say you want to do like a mock ball into you know, early supers or whatever, you jump up and then you have to do in that and all. Yeah, 8-bit Doe does not give a flying frick where these button presses are going. It does not work for retro games. I was trying it out on my BizHawk shuffler offline. The 8-bit Doe is bad. It is just so bad. Like, the main thing getting me in Smash Ultimate right now are these bad controllers and the net play. There are no good controllers. Why is nobody mentioning that there are no good controllers anymore? I'm gonna just be hooking up controllers that were like $10 from a dollar store that have been through a fire, no less, and I'm gonna be playing with these on Smash Bros. Online, apparently, because holy crap, nobody apparently realizes when controllers were good, huh? No, or at least when they weren't super expensive to be absolute garbage. Like this, I swear to God, this is such a... So mad at this controller. This thing was like 50 bucks plus the two that I got. $100 for these two. It's only good for casual gaming. That's about it. Like, I don't... It's because it's wireless. It's a good casual gaming controller. So mad with this controller. I'm so mad with the Nintendo licensed bull crap. Like, I could not use this controller at all. It just didn't have a straight up. It made no sense. Are people even trying the controllers recommended? Because I really don't think so, and I got a beef with it because it is a whole lot of money going into bull crap lately. Anyways, yeah, no, we definitely don't need minimum wage raised up though, right, guys? Everything costs like 5 times more to get garbage, but definitely don't need minimum wage raised up. Anyways, that's my 2 cents.